Hello and a very warm welcome from Fish and Reptile Info. My name is Serena, and I am Fish and Reptile Info's narrator. Fish or fishless cycling. If you're new to keeping fish, then this video will help you with the setup and adding your first fish. But first we need to do a thing called cycling the water, commonly known as the water cycle. Cycling an aquarium is the process of encouraging good bacterial growth, which feeds on the waste produced by your fish. This maturing of the filter bacteria can be done in two ways. Firstly, with the fish in the aquarium. That sounds great, but hang on until you have heard my explanation. The second method is a fishless cycle, a much more friendly way for the fish. What is cycling? The processing of waste products from your fish and uneaten food is done by bacteria which reside mainly in your filter. In a new aquarium there will be none of these bacteria. This is how it cycles. We start with plain tap water. Our water companies add chemicals into the water to kill bacteria, to keep us safe from bacterial infections. They add things like chlorine and chloramines. These are disinfectants used to treat drinking water, and safe for us to drink. Chloramines provide longer-lasting disinfection as the water moves through pipes to consumers. If we add fish straight into this water, they will, without a doubt, die. So for this reason we have to cycle the water. As I said earlier, there are two ways to do this: fish or fishless. But first we need to understand how a biological filter works. We start with a newly filled aquarium full of tap water. This is now in a, let's call it, a void state. If we put fish in this water straight away, there is no good bacteria in the filter to kill all the bad bacteria. We need to build up the good bacteria by providing the good bacteria with food. Let me explain. Bad bacteria, known as ammonia, happens when too much fish poop or uneaten food breaks down into bad bacteria. The good bacteria cannot cope and is consumed by the bad bacteria. So that means we are left with water full of ammonia. Ammonia in water kills fish. We need a reading of 0 ammonia before we add fish. Testing for ammonia is explained in our other video on water testing. Cycling is the process of growing these bacteria, either using fish poop, this is ammonia, made by fish to provide the food for the good bacteria, or by adding ammonia before fish are put in the aquarium. Now you understand the way the filter works. We can now talk about the two methods of cycling the water. The first being the fish in the aquarium cycling. This way in my eyes is a slightly cruel way to cycle the water. Let me explain. Some people add a few fish to the water, the fish get fed, the fish poop. That poop and uneaten food turns into ammonia, the fish killer. This poop and uneaten food starts to change the way the filter works. In time, the filter will be full of bad bacteria, because there is not enough build-up of good bacteria. This is when you start to get problems, and to be honest, you're on a downward spiral. On top of that, fish can go through a very painful illness. Also, when you add more fish, you are putting more strain on the filter. There are products called bacterial starters, which claim to add the bacteria to the aquarium. Many of these have a good effect, however, they are not a quick fix, so for this reason I prefer the fishless cycling method. It is a longer process, but the rewards are better in the long run. This method aims to get the filter started with enough bacteria to cope with fish wastes as soon as they are introduced. This will greatly reduce the harmful conditions. If a fishless cycle is done properly, it is a much safer and better way to cycle an aquarium. This can be done in a couple of ways. The first is adding ammonia to the water. It is possible to add ammonia directly to the aquarium and let bacteria settle and grow naturally. You can purchase filter starts from your local fish shop. This is the easiest method of cycling, as few water changes are involved. And believe me, that's going to free up a lot of time for you. And also, enough bacteria are grown in a few weeks to support a good number of fish, without any risk to the fish. The second is the prawn method. If you're on a budget, you can use raw prawns. These will break down into provide ammonia. The prawns can either be put directly into the aquarium in a net or net bag, or used in separate container to make ammonia-rich water. These prawns rot, and break down to convert into ammonia and another thing called nitrite. Out of interest, the cycle works like this. Ammonia breaks down into nitrite, and that breaks down into nitrates. Nitrate is the end result. When you have a high reading of nitrates, then a 20% water change is advised. There are many other things you can do to aid the cycling period of a new aquarium. You could also add mature water from a well-established aquarium. However, this does run with a risk of cross-contamination, such as passing on any diseases in that water. Once you have a zero reading of both ammonia and nitrite, you can then add fish. Only start with a couple. We don't want to put too much pressure on the filtration. So, your aquarium is now set up. You have let your water cycle. Now it's time to add your fish. Check out our video on acclimatizing fish into your new aquarium. This is a critical time for the health of the fish. So there you have it, 2 different methods of maturing your aquarium water. We hope this information has helped you to understand the water cycle. Please like and subscribe to spur us on to make more videos. Don't forget to ring the bell so you will know when new information is available. Thanks for watching.